Okay, so this is the first virtual class for Management 358-6. The class is held on Monday, Monday evenings at 4 p.m. And we will continue to hold the class at the regularly scheduled time, 4 to 6:40 p.m. Probably we won't be in there the entire length of time, 4 to 6:40, but we do ask that you check in to the class at 4 p.m. on Mondays to just to ask questions if you have questions, so that we can go over materials, so that we can make sure that everybody is on the same page. I do not want this to feel like an online class. Excuse me. And if any of you have ever taken an online class, you'll know what I mean. They tend to feel somewhat disconnected because of the remote nature of online learning. So I do want us all to get together at least once a week. Excuse me. I don't think I'm getting sick, but yeah. At any rate, thank you all for dealing with all of the ambiguity that's going along with this coronavirus pandemic. And everybody's being so flexible and so amazing, and I appreciate it. So let's go ahead and make sure that everybody knows how to use the different features, because we will be meeting this way once a week from here on out. We're not going to go back to campus even when the pandemic passes. We will be working remotely from here on out, and I'll talk about all the details that go along with that. But let's make sure we know how to use Zoom, first of all. Now, all of you have access to Zoom and can get a free Zoom account. And I encourage you all to do so, to get a free Zoom account so that you can connect with your team members, so that you can schedule meetings. If, for example, you wanted to meet with me and you wanted to send a tentative calendar invite, if you had a Zoom meeting, you could go ahead and do that, and then I could just accept the meeting. The only difference between a paid Zoom account and a free Zoom account is you will not be able to have as many attendees at the meeting. I believe the cutoff is either 10 or 20. I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but it's enough, right? Enough for you to do Teams and things like this. And then also you can only record for 30 minutes maximum on a free account, and instead of recording for longer. I really recommend that you record all of your meetings so that you can come back to them and again, right, look back at things. So let's see if everybody knows how to use their chat. This is how I'll be taking attendance for today. Just go ahead and go into the chat feature and type to everybody something, anything, whenever you're ready. Go ahead and chat. Hi, Wyatt. Hi, Neely, Layla, Aaron, Helen, Jennifer, William. Okay. So I noticed that hi, Menji. Some of you have names. Hi, Ryan. That are not your actual name. I'd ask that later. You don't have to do it now, but later that you go in there and you fix that in settings when you're in your when we're outside of the class, so that we can see your first and last name in there. Okay. I think I'm going to be able to guess if your name is not in your name, who it's from, right? If it doesn't show your actual name, but it shows something else, please do let me know whose name it is, right? Okay. All right. So I'm going to show you how to do a couple other things in Zoom. So we can start and stop the video, start and stop the microphone. Don't always have to be showing it. So even though I stopped the video, I'm still here. One of the things that we need to know, all of us, how to do is how to share our screens. So to share your screen, you would click at the bottom of the page. You'll see a little square icon that says share. It has a little arrow pointing up, the little chevron, it's green. You'd click on that, and then you want to click on desktop. That's a really important distinction, because if you click on anything else and you switch between the screens, no one will be able to see what you're doing. So can you all see my screen? Can somebody unmute themselves and let me know if you can see my screen?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. And just so you know, normally when we're, if you are speaking up in class, it's sometimes a little bit difficult for people to see who's speaking when there's so many of us. And so it's a good idea to just introduce yourself and say, this is Tanya, right? And then say what you're going to say. So here at the syllabus, we're going to be talking about that next, some of the assignments that we have coming up. So today was supposed to be an exam. I do not want you to worry about the exam at all. We're not taking the exam today, right? We're not taking the exam today. Let me see, I have some messages there. Just a second here. So back to the sharing. The events are still on. Oh, we are going to take the exam. The exam will be due, instead of having it due this week, it'll be due by, so I thought it was the 28th. What is this here? Is that possible? Let me see. Yeah, so the exam will be due by the 28th. So that's a Saturday. It's right before we go on spring break. And the exam, you will be taking it through Blackboard. And I'll show you where you take it now. So it's an individual exam, even though it is that you're taking it remotely. I don't want you to be taking it with other people. I want you just to be taking it on your own. And I believe here, we'll have the exam here under assignments. It's not available right now, but the link to the exam will be here under assignments. You'll see midterm 1 there. I'll post an announcement when that's ready. You can start the exam anytime within, as soon as it's available, you'll be able to start it. It won't be available for at least another day or 2. I'm still working on building it out, and it's taking a little bit longer because I have so many classes to build out. But once it's available, you'll have, oh gosh, close to a week to finish the entire exam. And the thing about the exam, though, is it's not one of those kinds of exams where you can stop it and start it and stop it and start it. You'll have 2 hours to take the exam. It's open book, open notes, but it is, it's timed. It's timed. So you do need to make sure that you have enough time dedicated to take the exam. If you have any technology failures during the exam, please don't sweat it. Just record it if you can, take a screenshot if you can, something that shows that you had that technology failure, and then let me know, and I will do whatever I can to fix it. I'll reopen the exam. We'll make sure that you're okay. Don't ever feel like I'm going to penalize you for an error. Especially an error out of your control. That's just not in my nature. It's not something that I would do. So don't feel like you need to call me repeatedly. I'll tell you a story, what happened last semester. I was teaching an online class, and you all have my cell phone number, right? You know that you can reach me for emergencies. Through my cell phone. Send me a text, call me if there's an emergency. Well, I had a student last semester who was taking the exam, and she had technical difficulty, and the exam ends at 11:59 p.m. and she waited until like 11:50 to take it, and then it didn't work, and she was just calling and texting incessantly up until about 3 a.m. So that was not cool. So please don't do that. Questions about the exam from the class? Unmute yourself. Tell me your questions.
Can you hear me?
Say that again. Who is this?
This is Mark Toma.
Hi, Mark. Hi, Mark. I can hear you now.
Just want to confirm, is it still the same concepts with, like, you said, I think you said 50 to 55 multiple choice? or
Same concepts and same type of questions. There's less questions now, but other than that, it's all the same. It's all the same.
okay,
So it looks like all told, we're going to have about 35 or 40 questions maximum. There are a few that I just took out.
okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Other questions from the class about the exam? This is unusual times, right? Yeah. So I'm going to unmute all of you and just let you talk for just a moment. I think I'd like to hear from you. Hi, everybody. You're unmuted. So. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
You are
Hey
the
there.
only class that I unmuted you all and you speak with one another. It was like normal. The other class, it was people didn't realize what was going on and they had dogs barking. So,
Hey,
have
say
you guys,
that.
have you all taken an online class?
Yes. Yes, but we don't use Zoom.
Not like this.
Yes, but we don't take like this kind of Zoom.
Definitely different. I really just don't want it to feel like an online class. I just, but we have to be virtual, right? So, okay, I'm muting everybody again. If you want to talk to me, just unmute yourselves. So I also wanted to say, I wanted to say another thing that we're doing in this class. So that's the exam. We're done with the exam. I just want to talk now about some of the other things that we have going on. So back to the sharing of the screen. Actually, we also have in this class the events that you need to attend, and you needed to be tagging yourself at the events, you need to be meeting people, et cetera, et cetera. And look at the chat. Yes. So if any of you have any, need any accommodations for the exam, please send me a private message. Actually, send me an email and put MGT 358-6 in the subject line for accommodations. And then I can set up actual accommodations for you in the online test. So if you need extra time or whatever it is you need, I can do that in the online exams as well. So the LinkedIn, I was saying the events, we still do need to go to events this semester, but you don't need to actually go to the events. We are heeding the CDC's warnings very closely, and we are limiting our social contact. And so you do need to go to some virtual events. And I will post when those virtual events are available, and you would treat it just like just like you would treat an in-person live event. You would attend the event, you would instead of taking a photo at the event, you could do a screenshot and then you can post that to LinkedIn. You can tag the guest speakers, et cetera, et cetera. We do also have, the other thing that we do have in this class is you are going to be giving a presentation as a group based on your business idea and your trend analysis, and we'll be continuing to work on that idea together as a class. And the way that we're going to be communicating with our classmates and really with each other for the rest of the semester is we're going to be using Slack. So have any of you ever used Slack in the past? So you can unmute yourselves to talk.
I use Slack for work.
Okay. And what do you do for, who is this again?
Mark.
Oh, and what do you use it for with work?
We just communicate with each other from like other districts and all that kind of stuff. Pretty much, that's all. And then like post stuff on there. And
What kind of work is it that you? I just said.
It's T-Mobile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool. Anyone else use Slack?
Yeah, I use Slack.
And who's this?
This is Wyatt.
Oh, hi. I see your name there now. Hi, Wyatt.
Yeah, I'm a sales rep for a startup here, and we use Slack to just communicate about contacts and just amongst each other in the office, pretty much.
Cool. Anyone else?
Yeah,
Hi.
I've used Slack. This is Ben
Oh.
Shapiro.
Hey, Ben. So what do you use it for?
I've used it for like some tech groups, like organizations in San Diego. Also, the Zip Launchpad. Each track has a Slack channel,
Mhm.
like a hackathon, and yeah.
That's cool. Very cool. Yes, entrepreneurs use Slack a lot. It's a big tool in entrepreneurship. Any others use Slack?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, this is Minji.
Hi,
I'm
Minji.
Hi. I'm also using Slack for my intern job.
Yes.
Yes, I'm a planning event team, and pretty much we use it daily base.
Wonderful. Yes. Wonderful. Good. Thanks for sharing. Anybody else? Okay. Well, at the end of this, all of you will have some experience using Slack. And so you'll need to go and you'll download the Slack app, bleh, if I can speak, Slack app. But I will send you the, excuse me, the request for to get into the class. We will have our own, they call it a workspace. We'll have our own workspace. And within that workspace, we'll each of the teams will have you create your own channel, and you'll make those channels public and invite each of the different team members into the channels. So we'll talk more about how to do that after I send you the link for it. But next week when we get together, we'll make sure to build out the Slack for those of you who haven't done it before. This is, again, how we'll be communicating within our teams, and it's an effective tool. I've used it for project management. We use it a lot in entrepreneurship. Yeah. So all of you will need, again, a Zoom account. You'll need a Zoom account, and you'll need access to Slack, and I'll be sending you that link here shortly for Slack. And I'll also be sending you the information on the exam oh, you guys couldn't see that, could you? I'm sorry, you guys couldn't see the Slack. I'll be sending you the exam as soon as that's ready. But here is, hopefully, can you guys see now my screen?
Yes.
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 Apologize about
Yeah,
that.
I can see
I
it.
forgot to share. But I was wanted to show you an example of a Slack channel that we have going right now for the Entrepreneurship Center. So you can see here in Slack, here is the overall workspace. In the workspace, you have various channels, and each of the channels have their own various functions. We'll have several channels for the class, and each of the channels will match your business idea, right? So we'll have one for each of the teams in the class, and then you can communicate a couple of different ways in Slack with the group and with the channel. So in general, if you wanted to communicate with everybody in the class, you would go to the channel that's called General, right? And every Slack workspace has a general channel in it. And you could type a message right into the general channel, like I'm doing here by typing the @ symbol, and then channel. Channel. By clicking on that, you're going to notify everyone in the channel. And so at channel, let's say I wanted to say, hi teams, right? Or hello teams in class, right? class in general. Right? If I push this and then push enter, then everybody's notified that I have left a message for them. And there would be a little red bubble right there that says there's a message for you to read in the channel. Now, if I were to just go into the channel and push hi class and don't do the little @ channel, then what ends up happening is we're not notified. That little red bubble doesn't come up, okay? You can also just speak to one person within the workspace or within the channel by putting their name. So Minji, let's say, hello Minji. There she is, and then hello, right? And there we go. Now Minji should have on her screen a little red dot that says there's something for me in the general channel. You can also communicate with people by direct message. You would go to the second half over here on the left, direct message, push the plus button, and then if I wanted to send a private message to Minji, I could do that this way or to anyone else. I could also send a message to several people at once. So maybe everyone in a team, if I wanted a private message for everybody in the team. Let's see, Erin is in her team. I don't know who's in the team. Oopla, Enzo is. And let's say Erin is. Oh, he's not in here. Yeah. Okay, so that's that. You guys get the idea. All right, so that's communicating with Slack. I'll send that out here shortly. What else? Anything we're missing? Any questions, comments, concerns from the class?
Professor,
Yes.
I had a question about the entrepreneur's interview
Yeah,
paper.
that's not going to be next week. If that's what your question is, I should have said that.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. That is not going to be next week. Not going to be next week. And we're actually going to be modifying that assignment. So thank you for bringing that up, William. I would have.
Yeah, because I guess I was also wondering how we would like interview those
Right,
people also.
right,
Okay.
right. So we're going to do a little bit of a modification of that. You are still going to have to interview somebody, but not in person. And we're going to change that from a team interview to an individual interview paper. And I'll put the instructions in Blackboard here shortly, but essentially you'll send an email or you'll make a phone call, or you will do a Zoom meeting with an entrepreneur, somebody who started a business before, and you will interview that person. I will give you the template of the questions to ask and the format to conduct that interview. In fact, I'll show you the template here in just a moment. See if there's what kind of questions are going to be on there. No exam keys for you. You'd love to see that one, right? Let's see here. Move I have it here. So here is the template that I made for you with the interview. You'll see there's like this long table of contents, and you don't have to. You don't have to include in the table of contents in the paper. You're welcome to if you'd like to, but it's just more for you to be able to find the different sections that we're looking for. And you'll be writing a very, very short paper for this assignment. And I think I have the numbers of everything, and the logistics are on page 6. Page 6, yes. So it has to be typed, single spaced on standard paper, 8.5 by 11. Digital is fine, right? Write and complete sentences, double space between the paragraphs. By that we mean one blank line like this between paragraphs, and then single space within the paragraphs, just like this, and triple space between sections, 3 blank lines, and paginate, meaning put the page numbers. So it's a very short paper, 2 pages or less. The table of contents are not required. Like I said, they're optional just to help you kind of find things. And if you do include them, they do not count toward the page count. Title page does not count toward the page count. You essentially will be asking the entrepreneur different questions about how they started the business and some challenges they faced. And I'd like you to put a header, basically a title for each of the different sections. And so here we go. The different sections are about the business, challenges faced by the entrepreneur, and then finally reflection and advice. And you do not need to put a header on the introduction, although you can. And the introduction is pretty straightforward. We don't want you, you don't need to tell, you're not introducing the business per se, or telling a background or history about the entrepreneur, but you're telling us more about what will be covered in the paper, right? So you'll say something like, in this paper, I spoke with this person and we looked at, asked him questions about the business, asked questions about some challenges he faced, and then we finally ended with some reflection and advice. That's a really good introduction, right? So, yeah, read the template, use the template to write the paper. It's really helpful to make sure that you do well on the paper. We, for example, in business, really like short paragraphs, right? 50 to 100 words, no more than, 50 to 80 words, no more than 100 words. Use block paragraphs. We don't indent. They're left justified. What else? Yeah. Now, I do ask that if you use any outside sources, that you cite those sources, and that you also cite the interview itself and include that in the works cited page. It's really easy to do. I know it sounds like I'm making busy work for you, but I'm not. We need to learn to cite when we are writing papers. You only need to once say that that the contents of the paper were based on an interview in this date, and then you include this, right, in the works cited. The name of the person, last name, first name, the fact that it was an interview, and when you gave the interview, right? And then if you had any other, anything else, any other works that you actually cited or assertions that you needed to support from outside evidence, this is where you would include them. Not required that you include them, but if you do include them, you must also have them in the works cited, as well as an in-text citation. By in-text, we mean like this, right? So this is works cited for citing a website. Right. All right, questions, other questions about the paper? Or the interview?
Yeah, I have a question. Is this, are you gonna like maybe post something with the updated information on this?
Yes, with the actual, with this template and the new instructions. Yes, and the new due date, which, by the way, you have some time on this. I think the due date on it before was like next week or something like this. Where do we have it? Yeah, due 3/23. That is not the case anymore. The new due date on that is, let's see, I want to give you plenty of time. Let's say you have until, oh gosh, would it be enough time if we did it? Oh, let's see, when does the semester end? Let's say by, oh, I have to have time to grade it too. Oh. You have a whole heck of a lot of time here. So let's just do it when we come back from spring break, right here on April 6th. And you know what? I think this is going to be too many things. too much. I'm gonna have to remove one of these. So I'm gonna do a poll right now. I'm gonna do a poll. So edit. How do I create? Oh, there it is. Add a poll. Okay. So the question will be, oh, you probably can't see what I'm doing. Share. Okay, so the question will be, assignments. Which assignment would you like me to omit, take away this semester? We have too many things to do and not enough time, and I'm not going to ask you to do all of them. So we could either take away the interview, or we could take away the book report, or we could take away the, gosh, we could take away the presentation. And save that. And let's go back to the polling. All right, I'm launching the poll. Can you guys see the poll all right?
Yeah, it popped up.
Mm.
Cool.
Yep.
So go ahead and tell me what you think you'd like me to get rid of. I'm going to get rid of one of the three. Can you see the results of the poll?
No.
Oh, wow. I wonder why.
I submitted mine.
As soon as you submit, it goes away.
Oh, okay, I'll tell you once it's done. Anybody else want to change their answer? Or? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and end the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Now, can you guys see it? The results?
Yes.
Looks like we're not going to have a presentation this semester. Yep, we're going to get rid of the presentation this semester. All right, so that means that we will look at the syllabus now. We'll have to redistribute the points. Okay. All right, so then each of the interview and the book summary will be worth 15% each. Yep, that's good. That sound fair to everyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. All right, then that's done.
And a
And
professor,
yeah,
is there also like a way we could get like an updated like calendar or
yes.
like new due dates and stuff?
Yes. Why don't I do this here? I'm working on, I really wanted to have like so much more for you all today, but there's just too many things happening at the same time. So I apologize for not having it before, but you will have it here soon. I just made myself a little note, and I will send out a message as soon as the updated calendar and syllabus is available for you to view, as well as the instructions on everything else.
All right, that'd be great. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I know everything's been really hectic, so we appreciate your help.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, I
definitely.
feel so grateful for all of you being so understanding and flexible and just, I mean, you guys are awesome. This is weird times, definitely weird times. So thank you all for all of that. What was I gonna say about this also? remember
Well, it's been honestly crazy because I work in Target and it's just crazy. Like they've been calling me constantly asking to help because everything is crazy. Like everyone's buying stuff. Toilet paper is going to be in stock tomorrow. So it's like, yeah.
Do you have hand sanitizer?
I haven't seen any in a long time, but I hear like a rumor that some are coming out, but I like found antibacterial soap. Yeah. Anyways, it's crazy.
I think that's a good word for it, is crazy. Absolutely insanity.
Now everyone's gonna be messaging me, hey, can you put some on hold?
Right. Save us some hand sanitizer. Yeah. I mean, but I think that we're doing the right thing by removing ourselves from the, from all being together in public. See, I can't help but touch my face. I'm a face toucher. But when you're out and about, you could get yourself very, very sick that way. And I think all we're essentially trying to do is just flatten that curve, right? Flatten the curve and distribute the illnesses, well, minimize the number of illnesses and distribute the amount of illnesses at any given time so that we don't overload the system, right? So, I mean, I think we all know. Any other any other comments, questions, concerns? Obviously, there's probably a lot of concerns this semester, but
Professor, I had a quick question.
yeah,
It's about the interview assignment. I know you're gonna modify it and put like the new like structure of it on Blackboard. For the actual like entrepreneur, was there like a timeline of when they started their business? Can't remember off the top of my head, or does it matter when they started the business?
we don't want to get somebody that's been like too far away from entrepreneurship. So like 10 years ago would be fine. More than 10 years ago, it feels like, oh, it's a long time, right? So, I mean, if there's something, if you're on the line though, talk to me, right? Talk to me and we'll figure it out.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, of course. I'm going to put this into Blackboard right now. Other questions?
Did we omit an assignment? I like lost connection, so I wasn't able to see.
Yeah, we just omitted we did a poll and we omitted the presentation. So we're no longer going to be doing the presentations. And we're redistributing the points between the interview and the book reports. Book report, not just one.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
So I have a question.
Yeah, shoot.
So are we still going to be, that means if we're not going to have the presentation, we're not going to meet up with our groups, or?
Yeah, so we the only thing you won't need to necessarily meet with your groups, but we will need to chat with our groups for like in class group work.
The idea and everything.
Yeah, we're still going to work on the idea. We're just not going to present on it. Yeah, we're just going to, but you guys need the practice of going through and actually because you did the ideation, we have to do a little bit of evaluation and things like this, or else I feel like you'd be leaving without enough foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're still going to meet with our groups. Just present.
Yeah, it's like my management 475 class. We were going to film like a video, like doing like being bad leaders, and that got canceled. The video, we don't need it anymore. We just have to explain what we have to do.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think a lot of us are just like, okay, how are we going to make this work with you?
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, totally.
Because I did log in a little bit late, so like 5 minutes in. So I was
just so everybody knows, I did also record this, so and I'll post that as soon as we're done here. I like to have everything recorded so you can go back and check again.
It's very nice. Thanks.
Oh, no worries. My pleasure. And then I also have some videos that I've been recording for you all. So I will. I'll go ahead and, oh, look, I have lots of things about the interview that I've already got done. Yeah, so I will, sorry, I'm looking at too many things at once. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and post all those videos for you too. I think that would be really helpful to have those videos for the chapter material. See, I thought I had the interview. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out afterwards. All right. So any other questions for me? I want to let you guys leave and go back to your day.
Everything looks great. Thank you.
Oh, of course. My pleasure. Don't hesitate to reach out to me if you guys need me, okay? For anything, you can shoot me a text or send me a message. I'm caught up on emails too, by the way. Whoop, whoop. So if you email me, I can actually respond. So, yeah. All right, cool. Any other questions from anyone? No? All right, have a wonderful, oh yeah, questions? No? Have a good one. Take care, everyone. I will see you all. Oh, come to next class though, right? Log into the next class. See you next class for everyone.
Yeah, you too. Bye. Stay
Bye.
safe.
Bye. Oh,
Thank you. Bye.
I'll
Thank
see
you for
next
being
week.
here.
Oh, my pleasure. Yeah. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.
You too.